Hi, Fit Kids families. And to anyone that may be watching that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Nakita and I'm a social worker for the Fit Kids 360 program. Today I want to welcome you all to Mental Health Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in again. This Monday we're going to be talking about common myths that are associated with mental health. So in today's video, I'm going to be dispelling some of those myths that many of us have probably heard throughout the years. Thanks for tuning in. So one of the first common myths that I've heard throughout the years is that mental health problems don't affect me or they can't affect me. And I'm here to tell you that that is something that absolutely can affect you. You could be a person who generally doesn't struggle with your mental health, but there can be a life altering thing that happens to you, like trauma. Think about what we're going through right now, this current pandemic. Those can evoke feelings that can cause you to struggle with your mental health, feelings of going through constant anxiety and experiencing some depression, and that's absolutely normal for someone to experience that while going through something like a huge crisis like this. Okay, so even if this is not something that you've struggled with before in the past, it doesn't mean that it's impossible for you to be dealing with it right now. So if you do notice that you are having some of those feelings of anxiety and you may be struggling with some depression, that's cause for you to understand that some of the things that are going on right now in your life, some of the trauma you may be experiencing, whether it's a loss of a job or a loved one, experiencing issues with finances, going through grief, those can all very well, evoke those feelings and have you struggle with your mental health as you might not have been before. So understanding that it is possible and understanding what may be triggering it is very important. The second common myth that I've heard throughout the years is that children don't experience mental health problems. And that is absolutely a myth. I have heard previously before, well, they're so young. There's nothing that they could be stressed or worried about. They don't have any real problems. They're just a child. And that's absolutely not true. Children do experience issues with their mental health as well. They get anxious just as adults get anxious. They go through periods of depression just like adults go through periods of depression. So understanding that it is possible that your child may be struggling with their mental health, and it could be due to things that are going on right now. Like I just previously mentioned, some of the trauma that they may be experiencing due to everything going on with the pandemic could cause issues with their mental health. So one, understanding that it is possible, and then two, again, understanding what may be triggering it. So that can help you as to how you can move forward with helping your child. But do understand that it is possible for kids to have mental health issues just as well as it's possible for an adult. So never think that a child is too young or they don't have enough problems that they may be experiencing something. They definitely can experience mental health issues as well. So it's important to acknowledge it and help address it. Another common myth that I've heard throughout the years is that having issues with your mental health means that you have a weakness or a character flaw. And I'm here to tell you that that absolutely is incorrect. Anyone can have issues with their mental health, like I mentioned previously. And that is not a reflection of you being a weak person or having a character flaw. It's human for us to experience different things as we are going through something that's very traumatic to us. Like I mentioned, everything that we're dealing with right now due to the current pandemic is very traumatic for a lot of us. And that's going to evoke some of those feelings of anxiety and depression that I talked about earlier. And that has nothing to do with who you are internally. It's just a reflection of what is going on, and this is your body's natural response to what is going on. And it's difficult for many of us to adapt to this change. It's difficult for many of us to kind of understand what's going on. A lot of things are confusing and they're kind of scary right now. And that is causing us to have a lot of issues with our mental health. And that's okay. It's not a bad thing about you. It's not a negative about you. It's just something that you should be aware of. And once you are aware of it, the next step is to move forward with addressing it. So, again, having a mental health issue or issues with your mental health is not a character flaw, and it doesn't mean that you have a weakness. It's simply just something to address. And if anything, it shows that you are human, and this is your body's natural response to what's going on with you right now. Another common myth that I've heard throughout the years is that people who experience issues with their mental health, they can snap out of it. They're just not trying hard enough. And I want you to know that that is also not true. People who are experiencing issues with their mental health are struggling with those feelings that they're going through. And it's not something that you can just easily just snap out of. It's something that I talked about previously. We're saying you need to address it. And so addressing it is one, realizing this is happening. And then the next step to addressing it is finding help. And there is help out there. There's therapists, counselors, there's other avenues that you can take to be connected with mental health professionals who can help you navigate those feelings that you're going through to help you work through those mental health problems that you're experiencing. So no, it's not something that you can just easily snap out of. And it's not something that someone's experiencing and they're not trying to get out of it. Sometimes they need a little help to get through it, and that's why we have mental health professionals, why we have social workers, counselors, therapists, all those great people who are in the mental health profession who have this role to help guide people through those feelings and through getting through their mental health. So again, when you encounter someone who may be having mental health problems, never tell them just snap out of it. If anything, try to connect them to the right person who can help guide them in working through the problems that they're experiencing. This next common myth is that I've heard people say who have mental health problems and they do acknowledge that they are having a tough time, and they'll say, well, there's no hope for me. And this goes into the last issue that I was just talking about, is that there is hope for you. There is hope through working through your mental health problems. It's all about having the right resources. So being connected to that mental health professional that can help you and guide you through working through your issues. And also being able to understand that even though you might not be able to see how things might get better right now, but with the work of working with the mental health professional and putting in the work and exercises to do what you need to do to focus on your mental health, you absolutely can get better with time. Now, it's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight. Realistically, that won't happen that way. It will be something that takes time, but there is hope. There absolutely is hope through getting through, those feelings of anxiety, to getting through depression, getting through a lot of those mental health issues. There is hope to get through those things. Sometimes it just takes the support of having someone like a mental health professional help and guide you through that. Also, the support of family, friends, and loved ones. So leaning on your support system, whoever that may be, leaning close to them to help you with that as well, to provide that emotional support as well, and with also the help of your mental health professional. So there's definitely hope for anyone that is experiencing issues with their mental health. The last myth that I want to talk about today that I've heard over the years is people say, well, I can't help someone with a mental health problem. I'm not a professional. What am I supposed to do? I can't help this person. And I want you to know that that isn't true. That isn't necessarily true. Although you might not be a mental health professional, you might not be trained to help guide them through the issues that they may be facing. But if this is a family member, a loved one, a friend, and someone close to you, you absolutely can help them through the process. Sometimes it's just being a listening ear, being available to listen to what they're going through and how they may be feeling. Also being non-judgmental, okay? So when they're coming to you and they're open and they're sharing with you how they're feeling and what they're going through, be open and listen to what they have to say without criticism. That is going to be key in helping them feel open and accepted to talk to you and be there, and for you to be there for that person. Also, it might be just sending them a reminder, letting them know that you care about them. So even if that's just a call or a text message to say, hey, I love you and I'm thinking about you. I know you might be going through something difficult right now. I know there might be a lot of things on your plate right now, but I'm here for you. You know, I love you and I care about you and I want you to know that I'm here for you. So those are some of the ways that you could be there for someone who may have a mental health problem. You can't necessarily give them the tools that maybe a mental health professional could, but you could be there for them in a way that you can listen, you can be empathetic, you can be open, and you can be non-judgmental with them. And it will help, and you will feel that they will appreciate that, and they definitely will. They will definitely be happy to have that support of a loved one or a friend, because it is a difficult time for them and it is something hard to go through, especially on your own. So to have that support of a friend or a family member or a loved one could truly make an impact. It really could. So now that we've discussed some of these common myths, I hope that you guys are more informed about some things that maybe you weren't informed about before. If you yourself are experiencing issues with your mental health right now due to everything that's going on, or you know a friend or a family member or a loved one, even your child or children who may be going through this, maybe now you have some more insight of what you could do and how you could help them. Please, if you feel that you need to seek professional help at this time, please do not feel embarrassed. Actually feel encouraged to do so. There are many, many, many mental health professionals out there who are trained and ready to help you through anything that you may be going through. So if you do need connection to get in touch with a mental health professional for yourself, for your child, for your friends or loved one, please feel free to reach out to me. My email address is ncurry@khcmi.org, and that's NCURRIE@khcmi.org. I would be so happy to connect you to anyone that could help you with your issues that you may be facing or that your loved one is facing. Remember, there is help out here. There are people that want to help you, and we will get through this together, guys. I can't wait to see you in our next video, which will be Therapeutic Thursdays, but please stay tuned all week for our other videos that we have going on. Thank you, guys. Bye.